Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Adam Bramhald, who will be fighting against Malcolm Wellmaker on Contender Series August 27th. Hello, Adam. How are you?
Hello, very good, very good. Feeling really good. I'm in a good place physically and mentally for this fight. Yeah, ready to get it done. Not long now.
And when did you find out about this bout?
Oof, a long time ago, like June, I want to say. Maybe end of mid-June. Could have been July, but I think it's June. Yeah. I've had like a good 13-week camp for it anyway. So
And did you know that he will be your opponent?
yeah, literally the email we got was the opponent straight away. So it's not been like you can fight on this and we'll match you eventually. It's been like one long camp towards this one person, which has been great. Because I've had a few fights where it's like, we'll aim you at this, and it's hard to train for somebody that's invisible.
And
So yeah.
he actually is a very good prospect. He's undefeated. He also got a really good amateur career. And did you have like a chance to watch his fights either as the amateur or the like pro bouts?
Do you know, I haven't really bothered. Um, a lot of people have talked to me about him, and they've done their studying, but it sounds like he likes to be on the feet, which for me means that I don't really need to look at him that much. When it comes to fighting on the feet, I don't think I am matched by anyone. I just need to be smarter and I'll figure like all patterns out in there normally. That's how I tend to operate. I normally just treat every fight as the same. I'm going to be better on the feet. I'm going to have to defend some takedowns eventually, even if they say they're strikers. Um, just be sharp on the feet and be fitter than that's what I tend to do.
And actually, in your fights, you always show how good you are in the stand-up department, because you are like super efficient striker. You like to like box, use kicks, knees, and I think that also your takedown defense with the anaconda choke is quite
Yeah, yeah,
dangerous because people want to take you down, but they can be
yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, that's it. That's the way I look to fight anyway. I'll always try and win the fight on the feet. It might take me a little bit of time to figure everything out before I start going for some big knockouts and stuff like that. And then if they shoot and I can get a head and arm choke, an anaconda or a dash choke, that's the way I look at it. It's their fault if they get choked.
And I think also that like usually fighters from Great Britain goes through cage warriors. It's like a natural step to fight for cage warriors. And in your case, you didn't fought for them. You were a cage steel bantamweight champion. So I think that it's also a quite interesting case. And I think that kudos for your management team to get you from the like a little bit smaller promotion to maybe to the UFC.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Cage Steel's had some good fighters. I don't think they necessarily all went through Cage Warriors, like fighters that fought on Cage Steel. I'll be the first one that's ever gone straight from there to the UFC. But Cage Steel had loads of fighters like my coach Danny Mitchell, Mark Diakese, Scott Askham, or Jack Grant. All these big names in the UK fought there. But I'm just the first one to go straight from there and not do the traditional Cage Warriors route. Um, management wise, yeah, we got to, I mean, I got paid more fighting there, and it was at my hometown, so I got to build like more of a name for myself regionally, like with these local shows and stuff like that. I think it was a good idea. A bit risky, but I didn't want to take a pay cut to fight the best guy in the world, for no money.
And also 11 fight winning streak. It also good looks good on the paper because it's like it's a quite long winning streak because it's not like 5 or 6 wins, but you are on a 11 fight winning streak. You won a belt, you defended it. So I think that it also means something that you are one of the best bantamweights in UK.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I had my losses came early on in my pro career, so like when you nearly said that I was undefeated, when you said Malcolm's undefeated, which he is, but like I've probably been undefeated longer than him. Do you know what I mean? Because my record, I lost two in a row. I was 2-2 at one point, and then like we've built from there. And I think I've gained a lot of experience in the fight game and stuff through fighting like this as well. Like I feel like there's not much that I haven't actually seen. Um, strikers, grapplers. I've fought them all now, so I'm not that worried about who I get next because it's not all that new. I've been fighting for a long time actually. This will be my 30th fight altogether, including amateurs. So yeah.
And when I checked your record on Topology in 2021, you had three bouts, and after this, you have a like 2 years 2 year break. You were back in the 2023 against Daniel Gadita. It was a very good performance, probably one of the better of your career. But after this, you also had the 1 year break. So if you can tell me what was the reason behind both of these breaks?
The long break was an injury issue. So I fought a guy from Bulgaria who was, he was tough, but he actually gave me nerve damage in my knee in the first 20 seconds of the fight. So when you obviously I had nerve damage in the knee down, so like I had no feeling from the knee down to my foot. So I fought an entire 2 rounds after that, like with no like movement in my ankle. Like so, I had so much damage to the ankle, so much damage to the knee leading up. It took a while. It took a long time for it to heal, and I just didn't want to like at that point in my career. I think that was like like the 10th win in a row. I didn't want to just rush and jump straight back in, which was, I mean, the injury was really a big regret of mine because we had a plan to get a last minute call up to like the UFC London card and stuff like that, which would have maybe paid off. Um, and then after that, it was getting my body right still. So that long break, I mean, until the right, like we could get a good fight sorted, because obviously we didn't want to get in there with somebody that would just to get rid of the ring rust, so to speak. So we got a good one in with the Brazilian lad Daniel. And then after that, I was meant to fight in December. And the only reason we had a break after that was just because we were waiting for this. Like, it was more like be in the gym all year. And then I actually thought, well, I was told we thought the Contender Series was in April, but I think that's just when they started matching it. So really, the idea was we'd just sit, and which that's also fair play to the management because it was their idea to just sit and wait because they thought we would be, um, worthy of the call up. So they sent all the information off. We started getting to sort of June and like we're having offers, like big offers from certain promotions and stuff. And it was just like we were having to negotiate so we could either be eligible for a last minute call up to the UFC Manchester card or be eligible for this. And then while we were negotiating stuff like that, they emailed saying, right, can he fight this on this date?
And probably you were super happy about it, about this, that
Yeah.
it's probably the biggest opportunity that you can get at this stage of your career.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was like the biggest reward of it all, like the wait paying off and like the risk of waiting. Because, like I said, there was some pretty big, well, there's probably the biggest opportunity you can get outside of this. Um, that was there, and we were just trying to negotiate it, and it would have pulled off to do that. But then this came, and like obviously this is your number one. You can't turn this down. So.
And if you can tell me more about your gym that you are training you are training with right now, and also the who is your like main coach and also the sparring partners that you have there.
At the moment, yeah, AVT is my main MMA gym. I'm coached under Danny Mitchell, who fought in the UFC, and Jay Furnace, who is one of the. I mean, he should have been in the UFC, but um, yeah, like both different styles of coaches, both like similar coaching styles in the way they They deliver things, but they're very different fighting styles. Um, and I just spar with all our team there. We've got a lot of up and coming guys. I've been doing a lot of sparring with James Saville, Scraps we call him, who he's a little bit. He's not fought for a long time, but he was like one of the original like UK MMA guys, and he's been helping me out a lot. Like stylistically, he's been a good match for me. So he's basically come out of retirement to get me to emulate this guy. And then I do all my Thai boxing with someone called John Pop Kiat who is a Thai. I've always done my Thai boxing with him since about a year after I started training. So I do all my Thai boxing separately there. So like when it comes to striking, like I have my own individual Thai boxing that I adapt for MMA. And that's one of the good things that John Pop's always done with me. He's never tried to make me a Thai boxer. He's always tried to adapt it. I think that's given me a big edge. And then go into my MMA team and like adapting it. And, because you can't be a Muay Thai fighter in an MMA fight. You've got to change the stance. You've got to change your timing and stuff like that. So, yeah, I feel like I don't really need to change anything. Like we could have got loads of different sparring in, brought sparring partners in. But for me, like it's all the same. As long as I can get fit, I can stay injury free, get really sharp. Like I don't need to be running all over the country for sparring and stuff like that.
And when do you plan to be in Las Vegas?
I'm going next Sunday. So I'm there for like 10 days because the fight window with them is about 5 days. But obviously, for us from Europe, we have to fly all the way there, which when you're doing your weight cut and stuff like that, it's no good. So I'm going a bit earlier so I can take care of myself for a week, get a little bit of training in. A couple of my friends are out there at the same time. Um, Kiru Singh Sahota and Pav Sahota. Kiru's fighting on the road to UFC, the Asian one, and he's fighting a couple of days before me. So I think I'll meet up with them, get some training in with them. And then I also linked up with a gym when I was there last time for some filming. So I'm just going to get a bit of training out there, nothing crazy. Sort of been like pushing really, really hard so I can have a steadier week into like, I'm going to peak this week before I go. And then I don't need to go mad while I'm there because obviously you don't know people. You don't want to be going mad with the training. So
And when you will be in the Las Vegas, do you like expect that there will be like more nerves than usually because there will be a biggest fight of your career?
right now, I don't. I feel this. I feel. I mean, I'm probably more relaxed than I know. I don't really feel a lot when I'm fighting. Like I'm pretty cold. Like with it, I just I'm kind of in the moment. Like I just, I don't get, I don't get really antsy warming up. I don't, I kind of warm up in there, very Thai boxery, kind of way of doing things. I don't like get very much nerves at all. I mean, maybe I'll get a little bit when I'm flying out because it's like the start of the thing, but like I don't really feel that much towards it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. There's going to be obviously not much of a crowd. That's a little bit different, but nerves wise, I don't feel any different at all right now. I feel really, really like relaxed about the whole thing.
Yes, it's probably good because sometimes the stress can like eat you.
Yeah, that's true. And when it comes to actually fighting, like if you see it like a fight, you see it like if I like look at this for what it is, I'm fighting in front of Dana White and I'm fighting for a UFC contract. That can eat your performance as well. Like I need to be go in there and like being me is what's got me this opportunity. I just need to be me, like I don't want to be trying to do too much or too little. Like I try not to look at it like the biggest fight of the career because they've got every fight at some point has been the biggest fight of your career. So it's just try and focus on you. Don't focus on like the external pressure of it all. It's away from home, it's in America. Like there's not loads of people there. It's fine. It's not like when I'm fighting at home, like I've got like 100 and odd people that I know, like are my friends and stuff like that, like right next to the cage and stuff like that. So I imagine it's a different kind of pressure to that, knowing people are watching from around the world, but like they're not there.
And for sure, you're right now focused on this fight. But when you are thinking, because you are one fight away from being in the UFC, but when you are like I don't know, checking the rankings in the UFC or like checking the fighters, do you have a guy or style in mind that you would like to face in your first UFC bout?
I don't know about the. I don't really know much about like names and stuff like that. Style wise, yeah, I want to fight someone that's a bit like, just like they'll give you the not like a 5 foot wrestler that's going to lay on me. Just someone that's going to give at least give the chance for good fights because I'm not my job in this sport is to entertain people and bring people into the sport, especially from the UK. That's really what I really want to do. So like, as long as I get the chance to showcase my set and showcase like how entertaining the sport can be, I'll be happy. I kind of hope I can get this one done and then I can fight in England in March for the London card they do. They might want me out before, but like that'd be my ideal opportunity.
Yes, yes, it probably would be perfect. But even if you would fight against wrestler, it also can end in anaconda choke.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
And of course, you are a very good like striker. But do you have any like maybe not background, but additional like Muay Thai or kickboxing bouts, like even on the amateur level in these sports?
Yeah, I had four K1 fights. I won all of those. I've got a belt in K1, British title in K1, yeah. But I've like I said, I've trained all my Muay Thai at a separate Thai boxing gym. I just never ended up fighting it because I was focusing on the MMA. But like I trained with, for like 12 years, I've trained with like world, European, stadium, Thailand champions, like at this Thai boxing gym. So like adapting that to MMA is like just makes you so much better than these average people that have a coach that, went to Thailand for 3 weeks.
And at what age did you like think about becoming like pro MMA fighter? How old were you?
I started training when I was 17, and then it was just like, okay, I'll have a fight. And then like you win a few and you're like, oh, maybe I'm good enough. You win an amateur title, you're like, nah. Then you think, okay, I'll get to like whatever, 8, 9, 10 amateur fights, and then I'll see how I am. And it's just up to the coach. I think I was 21 when I turned pro. Um, but that was kind of the plan after a while. And then like for me, like it's always been one small goal at a time, achievable goal. Like I didn't like get booked in for my first amateur fight and think, right, can't wait to have the belt, the UFC title wrapped around the waist. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, let's win a fight, then we'll see. Then it'll be win a belt, then it'll be turn pro, then it'll be win a pro fight, win a pro belt. Then it's like, oh shit, might be able to get to the UFC, and that's the goal. For me, it's like, I like to travel. I'll be happy if I can just get this contract and then run it through, hopefully get another one and just like enjoy the process of it all. That's what I want to do.
So which country would you like to fight, except like US and UK?
I'd like to fight. Ooh, everywhere. Everywhere. I'd like to fight in all over Europe. I'd like to fight in I'd love to fight in Asia as well, Danny, my coach, he fought in Macau, which is like it's a little bit like Vegas, but in China. I don't know. I don't know. I'd fight anywhere, mate. Anywhere that's not, where like my back garden. Like, it's just that's part of the life that you live. I've had a few. I've not had that many international fights, but like you just like it's like the MMA scene like in different countries is just like they're much more fans of the sport than they are in the UK. So like I just want to feel that more. Like the atmosphere is different. It's like a completely different feeling.
In Brazil, the atmosphere is definitely intense.
I bet, yeah. Yeah, I'd fight there. If they let me fight there, that'd be great.
And also, you for the bantamweight, you are a very tall fighter. You have a big frame. And do you ever think about going possibly to featherweight division?
No, no, I'm too small for that. I've been at bantamweight since I started. I've always fought a bantamweight. I've just grown. But like even like now, like I'm a lot leaner nowadays. I've put a bit of muscle on, but I still wouldn't be big enough to fight at featherweight. Like I think I'm the perfect size for bantamweight now.
A few weeks ago, we had a UFC 304 in Manchester. There were a lot of great British fighters there. But overall, who is your favorite fighter from UK, like ever?
From UK ever,
Yes.
be Dan Hardy, I'd say. Yeah, I love Dan Hardy. Yeah, he was good. Very like another guy, like really good striking. Just went out there and tried to put on a big show. I love Dan Hardy as a UK fighter. Yeah, I did like Bisping as well. I like Aspinall as well now, and I do like Edwards. I like his striking too. You know, like all four fighters I've just named, like they're not boring. You know, they're there to put on a show. And that's like what I want. That's what I want. I want to bring to the UK MMA scene. You know.
And actually, you have this style because in the 14 wins, you have 10 finishes. So for especially for bantamweight division is really high like ratio of finishing.
Yeah, yeah. I just work a lot of timing. You know, like I'm not like I said, I'm a taller bantamweight, so I'm not gonna send somebody's head into crowd. I work a lot on distance, footwork, and timing, and it just it works for me really well. I create openings, throughout a round. I'll be setting things up around in advance. You know, that's the way it works for me. Just all small openings.
And for now, do you have a like favorite bantamweight from the UFC to watch? So when you know that this fighter will be on the card, you know that you have to watch it.
No, not really. I'm not the biggest watcher of it, to be fair. Like, I don't have time, so I don't know. Like, I've had favorite bantamweights. Like, I used to love watching Dillashaw. I don't know if he's still fighting, but like people like him, I like Dominic Cruz. But I wouldn't know about right now who I'd like the most. I suppose O'Malley's quite a good watch. Well, that's a bit obvious, isn't it? But yeah, he's fun. He's fun at least.
Yes, yes, definitely. He's great striker. So I think that people maybe people don't love him, but they like his
Yeah,
style because he's like super
yeah,
entertaining.
yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And
He's, sorry, go
yes,
on.
and outside of world of MMA, do you have like any additional hobbies or passion that when you are after the training camp that you can be focused on something else?
No, not really. Like when it gets to the end of a fight camp, I just want to sit down. Like I've got pretty busy. I still work full time. Um, I've got dogs. Like I work at a gym as well. I teach people, so like I don't really have that much time. Like the day and a half on a Saturday and Sunday that I get to just chill, I don't want to go. I don't want to go do a hobby. Like I work pretty much three full-time jobs. So like with training, fighting, looking after my dogs and coaching as well. And it's like it's busy. So like I kind of just like I'm a big like nutrition and health and wellness nerd as well. Like I spend a lot of time reading about certain things that aren't common knowledge. Um, but yeah, like I'm just a normal guy. Like I like to, get me to the end of the week. I like to go to the pub. I like to watch football. That's it. Like I just like to sit on the sofa as well, So there are no hobbies just yet, other than all that.
And about coaching, because of course you will have many years in the sport as the fighter, but after your career would be done, do you ever think about being a like full-time coach, having the pro fighter?
Um, I probably not being a full-time coach because like I still have to work for I work with my family. So at the moment I teach almost every day anyway. Um, but like my friend's got the gym that I teach at, and I'm helping him with that. I'm hoping like if once I get this contract, like I'll be able to get a big influx of business for him. And we can build from there because we are slowly building like it's only been open a year and we've got a lot of members now. and it's just like trying to turn a few of them into fighters and build from there. I'd happily be a part of the, be on the side and be a part of that journey and help him progress with that because it's his thing, it's his baby. So yeah, I'd maybe like partner in it. I wouldn't think about going into full-time coaching because it's just a lot more work. And I've been working for I've been working for a while, so
Yes, coaching definitely seems to be like super like even exhausting thing
yeah,
because you
yeah,
need to be focused on either fighter on or group of fighters, so it can be like definitely a full-time job.
yeah, that's true. It is, yeah. And it's more than just like going up and teaching a class. Like there's a lot of brain work that goes into it and a lot of, individual people you've got to work with. So it's a lot of work, yeah. But I like it. I like the coaching. It's really rewarding job.
And what is the official prediction in your fight against Malcolm?
I think it'll go second or third. I think I'll stop him in the late, maybe third round, late second round. It tends to be what happens. Like I take a round, I figure things out. They start to get tired halfway through the second round, and I win. That's how I feel most fights go with me. I couldn't tell you what I'll win with. I'll be looking for something good. I want to make a statement. I'll be looking for a good finish. We'll see. But I haven't really visualized it all yet. I'll probably do that like maybe watch a little bit of tape on him. I think I'll be quicker. So I'll visualize it like closer to the time. I don't want to spend, I don't really, at the moment, I've just been completely focused on me. But yeah, I think I'll be looking for the finish, second, third round, I'd go with.
Okay, Adam. So many thanks for the conversation. To be honest, I think that it's one of the best fights that were booked on Contender Series this year, and I hope that after this you will get a UFC contract.
Thank you. Thank you very much.